Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included. It is the 8th cycle and we just prepared our first, in quotes, proper meal. This here, the pickled meal. Wonderful. We want to produce that forever and we also want to store those guys in our ration box. Furthermore, we need to update that in our consumables. Yeah, there we go, it's already selected. But yeah, we got that situation sorted out. It is time to do some more research. I would like to get a better power situation going with the jumbo battery, so that is gonna be next. In the meantime, I'm gonna let my duplicants do some cleanup work here. I would like most of the stuff to be gone from the floor. Also, the storage chests should be priority 9. They should always take care of the food first, so it stays in the carbon dioxide atmosphere. Research already completed. I'm going to take apart these batteries, even though this is a little bit of a waste, but we want to replace them with a jumbo battery, which is a little bit more efficient and can store double the amount of what we have right now. Looking at the temperature overlay, we need to be careful about this biome here. We don't necessarily want the heat to seep into our lovely and cool base. I think at this point it's time to expand the basement a bit. We might be able to combine these two water sources. There is another one, or maybe we just pump it up, and there's another one we could drain all the way down, so we'll have to think about that. We're gonna live off the manual generator just a little longer, so I'm not gonna do the cold generator just yet, but maybe a rock crusher would be nice, or we just dive into advanced research right away, basically giving me access to everything important. For instance, something I would like to go for are insulated tiles as soon as possible. Also, the deodorizer might be a nice feature. And there he is, Devin, going crazy at the research station while Otto is cleaning up. Everyone is doing their job. Now, I wonder, Devin should theoretically go for this mealwood now. Did this guy just eat my coal? This is not good. I'm gonna wait for him to lay an egg and then we are just gonna get rid of him. I just need one single egg of these hatchlings and we should be fine. By the way, did we already upgrade this to a great hall? Yeah, look at this. Their morale must be through the roofs. Also, for convenience, I should set up a storage bin here with dirt. Let me do it on... hold the phone. I'm gonna do it on this side. Research completed. Skill scrubber is gonna be useful later on. I would like to place the supercomputer right here eventually. Actually, yeah, we can already do that. I want to take apart this ration box. For now, let me put that... There's no convenient place. I'm just gonna put it right there. Eventually it's gonna empty anyways, but as long as we still have muckroot laying around. As mentioned, we're gonna keep going with the research. I'm just gonna blast through here until we get the insulated tiles and then we're gonna go for the deodorizer. Then we maybe can pick some more specifically. Oh, whoops. I wanna do that. Thank you. Also, of course, we need the supercomputer as mentioned and we can power it up right there. Right here at the farm's cultivatable soil, we want to store some dirt, and then 5 of these farm tiles are actually enough for one duplicant if they harvest them immediately. So maybe it's a good thing to have 1 or 2 more, because Devin is definitely not going to harvest immediately all the time. I have to say, this contraption here did not really work out the way I wanted it to, so maybe we're just gonna get rid of it and store the eggs differently. I'm gonna have a little storage bin here and then we can set up a door, I would say, so the critters cannot actually escape. In this storage bin, I want to store a bunch of critter eggs and then I'm just gonna release them manually. In the beginning, it is not much to manage, but I don't want the hatches to roam around anymore. We now got 2 eggs in here. That is good. That means I can kill off the rest. Where's my attack button? There. Sorry. You have to go. You have to go. Camille obviously is taking care of the job. And we got our first barbecue as well. This is good because we can basically set this up to cook forever as well. And also we don't want people to eat the raw meat. So we're gonna take that off the menu. However, we want to store it in our carbon dioxide area. We unlocked the airflow tile. This is going to tremendously help us with the airflow, obviously. And we want to make sure wherever we want the oxygen exchange to happen, we also set up a bunch of these. Yeah, something like this should already do the trick. There it is, a precious barbecue. Unfortunately, I was not quick enough to store it in the storage bin here. What you gonna do? Good night, dupes. Good night. looks like we got our first full toilet. Maybe this is a good opportunity to up the priority of these a little bit. I'm not sure who is gonna do it. Camille is gonna disinfect it. You rather take out your plunger now. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. She's not happy about the job. What you gonna do? If we have a look at our food storage, we can see pickled meal is losing only 2% per cycle. This is like the perfect beginning food. Barbecue on the other side is losing minus 18% per cycle. And I believe it becomes stale at 50% already. At this point, I think it's time to also dig down a little bit, see what we can find here at the bottom. Maybe I don't want to quite open this up just yet. Looks like we got another research completed. This is good. We can go for the deodorizer next. This thing is going to be especially useful once we start to get some polluted oxygen. Also looks like we have another skill point with Otto. Should we go into grilling too? I think I want to improve his carrying capacity by 400 kilograms first. Because he can already cook everything I want him to cook, we're not in a hurry. Also, Devin and Camille earned their skill points. With Camille, we're gonna go into super hard digging only. And then with Devin, we also want to go into more researching. Geographical analysis or telescope usage. Let's do this one here so we can analyze a bunch of geysers and volcanoes if we come across them. Also, of course, we want to explore upwards, see what we can find here in the upper section. Right there we already have a cool salt slush geyser, expelling 5.3 kilograms of brine at minus 10 degrees. That's good, it's a good cooling source. And of course a renewable water source. As long as we dig the tunnel, I think I don't want my materials to fall down, so I'm gonna make a little temporary barrier there. Oh, I totally forgot about the polluted dirt that is now here. So we probably already have some, yeah, there we go, polluted oxygen in the joint. Polluted dirt should obviously end up in this storage bin, so we're gonna put it there. I also put the eggshells over there. And then as soon as we get some polluted water, we're also gonna dump it with the bottle emptier. Everyone is eating barbecue. It's gonna make them extremely happy the next day. We're gonna keep on digging up here. We need to prepare for this brine to flow somewhere. Maybe we can make our way over here, for instance, move up a little bit, and then we can safely approach the geyser. By the way, we now got access to the insulated tiles, giving us a extremely good temperature protection. I would like to make a considerably large waste room here. Since we have the insulated tiles already, I think I'm gonna get started with that. So we want to move all the way over here. Let's maybe make this 8 or so tiles in width. Yeah, this should actually be all right. And then we move all the way up here. However, this should happen with insulated tiles now and also towards the bottom. Actually, the bottom isn't bad. Yeah, we don't need to do that. So I first built the insulated layer. I want to be careful right here what I do. And then I guess we can just start to dig everything up in layers of 4. Alright, we're making some progress here. We also discovered Dracos. Maybe we're gonna get into plastic production soon with those. This needs to be prepared like 80 cycles in advance. But we still need a good rancher. Maybe it was still a mistake to not take the +6 rancher from before. I might live to regret that. What you gonna do? I would like to not get the hydrogen here. So what we're gonna do is not grab these tiles, but then we can just place a tile inside and delete the air. And there we go. It's gone. We can now get rid of the tile and nothing happened. Same strategy right here. We want to first build the tile diagonally, not allow the chlorine to enter. I mean, it's not that bad, but if I can prevent the chlorine from entering, why not? I think it's time to choose another research. Let me see what we might want next. I would like to get access to the rock crusher, but before that we might want to unlock some automation and power production. Yeah, it might be time to go for the coal generator in conjunction with the smart battery. However, the smart battery doesn't help us anything if we don't have access to automation wires. So we're gonna go for those first. Devin, come on. Yes. Do the research. That's the spirit. You little bastard! It's always a little bit close when they go to bed. I mean, as long as they make it to bed, it's alright. They're just gonna oversleep. But I'm gonna give them one more downtime slot, since they now are usually also a little bit further away sometimes. Research is already done, which means we can now go for the smart battery. Wonderful. It's a tiny ice biome, but at least one Weeswort, and we also found Sweetles. Another thing we could also already do is set up a deodorizer. Maybe we're gonna do this at the bottom here first? No, let's just put it here on the top. Eventually the polluted oxygen might travel upwards and then we're gonna catch it here, convert it back to regular oxygen. This is also going to require a little bit of power since we need the power up here for the lamps anyways. This is fine. And oh no, some of the polluted ice just melted and flooded back here. I mean, these things happen in Oxygen Not Included. It's not going to be that bad. If you actually catch it early enough, you can mop it up, as you can see. So we just have to make sure we actually do that, and I need to gain access to this little piece here. But, you know, we caught it early, so we might get away with it. We just need to make sure that we mop up immediately, and then we also need to set up a barrier here. What is this? Igneous rock, so we can take away this tile. This should be fine. And we also want to prioritize that. Alright, hopefully this is gonna happen soon. Actually, this should be the most priority here, because then it's gonna stop leaking. Right now, nobody has a high priority in tidying. I'm gonna assign this to Otto until we have somebody else doing it. So Otto should be taking care of everything, hopefully. Yes, there we go, doing some mopping. Okay, if it doesn't get worse, we actually got away with it. Wonderful. However, now we have a whole bunch of polluted water that we can go ahead and dump over here. This should be a fairly high priority, like 7. Because right now all of this is of course off-gassing, filling up our base with polluted oxygen. This is not the worst that can happen, but you know, you want to keep it clean. The worst thing actually is my ration box, because now my pickled meal, actually it only loses -3 per cycle now. I was expecting a little bit worse. Alrighty, there's one more thing we need to research, I believe, to accomplish everything I want to in today's episode, and that is the rock crusher. We want some refined materials in order to try and automate everything, namely the coal generator that we're gonna place down here at the bottom for the time being, together with a smart battery. However, we need the refined metal for that first, and we also need the refined metal to do all the automation. For now, I'm just gonna build the coal generator and then we have to wait for the rest. Maybe we actually best disable it. I'm not sure. No, I don't think it's even gonna run if it's not hooked up to anything. Okay, the situation is under control again. Most of the liquid is now in here, in the waste bin. However, there's a little bit too much polluted oxygen to my liking. So I think what I'm gonna do is set up an airflow tile here, and we're gonna do a couple of deodorizers. One here and one over there. We're also gonna go ahead and hook this up to power. And I believe we could just continue the wire at this point. I want to avoid connecting the coal generator just yet. We're then gonna have a smart battery here, and afterwards we're gonna have our stone crusher, which I believe I've already unlocked in refinement. So stone crusher goes here, and in order to already have a little bit of power, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're just gonna bridge over and then disable the bridge once we're done with it. But I need a little bit of juice for the rock crusher so we can set up the rest of the stuff, namely the smart battery and the wiring. And there we go, deodorizer is going for it, getting rid of the polluted oxygen, creating some clay in the process. Oh no, check this out, because we built a power cable just at the generator, it is actually already doing some stuff. Not good. We can disable the building, for instance. Rock crusher is in place. We're gonna need at least 200 kilograms. We get 50 kilograms per craft, so 4 crafts, but then we need some for the cabling as well. We're gonna do, not forever, I wanted to do 5. Now this is an operating skill, so I expect my researcher to do it for the time being. Well, I guess the next day, the next cycle. In the meantime, Otto leveled up once more. I believe we could increase his cooking now because his carrying capacity is enough for the time being. Yeah, we're just gonna go into grilling too, which is just gonna make him generally a better cook. By the way, I also placed a wash basin here in case they bring in some polluted dirt and actually get covered by germs. Doing that, they can wash their hands again. Another thing we could place is a kiln. Eventually we're gonna use it. And there is Devon filling up the rock crusher. This is a good sign. I know here at the bottom they don't have much opportunity to breathe. Devon is filling up the battery one last time before the big job. That's the spirit, Devon. It's the machine's fault. New material, refined copper. This is great. Just 50 kilograms yet, but we're getting there. Devon earned a skill point. Now I believe we have a little bit of time to go into something else. So we could either improve their farming, or maybe a little bit in carrying capacity. I'm undecided. I'm gonna do farming. Yes. For my next duplicant, I'm looking either for a operator, a rancher, or somebody that is just perfect at supplying everything, doing tidying jobs and such. That would take a load off the side tasks my dupes are doing at the moment. Also, Camille earned another skill point with her. I just have to go super duper hard digging, but afterwards we can branch out as well. We got enough material to finally place the battery. We shall do that. And now all we're missing is the automation wire going to the generator, or from the generator to the battery, depending on how you look at it. We can enable the generator again. Also, I would like to increase this a little bit. Let's say at 75% or so, they shall fill it up again. And we're also going to give this priority 6. I don't want to run low on juice, but this essentially means once we have this built, we can get rid of the manual generator forever. We could even get rid of the jumbo battery because that thing is currently spreading heat in our base. I'm actually already gonna deconstruct those two things so we don't create extra energy that we don't need anymore. And then we're gonna reroute the power cable a little bit over there. We can get rid of these power cables. Actually, not this one. There we go. Coal generator is doing its thing, filling up the battery, and as soon as the smart battery is full, it's gonna send a signal. We can have a look at that at the automation overlay. It is now a red signal, and we can decide when this turns on again. Let's say if the battery goes below 50%, then we want to do that, and at 95% we want to stop the generator. The reason for that is I'm not even sure if it's still the same, but in the old days people were stopping it at 95% because it was always finishing the animation and therefore sometimes wasting a tiny bit of coal. But yeah, with that out of the way, we have the first automation. We don't have to manually generate power anymore, and we are in a pretty good spot. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the second episode. Thank you so much for the feedback on the first one and the hype. It is absolutely crazy. I'm looking forward to this series, and hopefully it is gonna be the greatest and longest thus far. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.